You're right on time, Farmer C. I didn't even have to say welcome, Farmer C. Farmer C, again, is our first keynote speaker that is going to be kicking off the conference. I feel like she doesn't need an introduction because many of you all know her on these TikTok and Instagram streets. She's someone that I personally look up to. She's someone, honestly, that I became friends with when I started my farming journey. And again, I look up to her as the model. And I know she's going to say I'm nobody's model. I could just hear her in my mind. But I literally look up to her as someone who is doing it, and who's doing it an amazing way, who's out here really setting the trend for what it's like to be an herb farmer, to be a Black woman in this herb space and build an herbal business from the ground up. So without any further introductions, I would like to bring on Miss Farmer C. I will be back here in the background. You can go ahead and come off mute, come off video, say hey to the people. Y'all welcome Farmer C to the stage, the virtual stage.
Oh, wow. Okay. Says you got to enable my video.
Oh, you can't show your video either?
Mm.
Let's make you a host.
Can y'all hear me?
We can hear you.
Okay. Let me know when.
Are you able to, is your video showing now? I just made you a host.
Okay. There we go. There we go. Hey, you said all that. Clifford, get out the way.
Clifford interrupting your session.
Hold on, y'all. I'm gonna let Clifford out.
Clifford is her cat, y'all.
Clifford is the cat. You follow me, you know Clifford. She is a whole mood. Hey, yes, she has a whole fan base and everything. Oh, that was so wow. Wow. You little sis. We have some real conversations and talk about some real stuff. And the thing I love about our relationship is when we say something, it stays there. You know what I mean? And then we move forward and execute. So I love that. Love you. You looking glorious.
Thank
You're
you.
looking glorious today. I sent my presentation this morning, but if it's not pulled up, no problem. Not even worried about it. I'm good. Y'all drop those purple hearts if you're connected already.
Yes.
If not, hey y'all, I am Farmer C, and I am coming to you here in North Kakalaki. Just a few little housekeeping things. I have 3 farm dogs that retired as soon as they moved to the farm. They're right here. So you might hear some sounds, and my team is outside working. I've asked that no tractors be ran during this time, but sometimes somebody sees something that needs to be done. Maybe they didn't get the message. So if you hear any farm sounds, I am very much in the midst of things. I'm seeing all those purple hearts and I'm loving it. Thank you. Thank you. So, hey, everyone. I am here to talk about growing high value herbs on a small scale for a big impact. And before I get into that, I want to encourage you all, if you haven't already committed to it or jumped on it, you want to make sure you get the resource bundle that comes along with this conference. Myself, along with a host of other fantastic educators, panelists, herbalists, are providing you with access free you're paying this nominal amount to get all of this access to information that we've created. And a lot of us are busy running farms, running businesses, etc. We can't get to each of you one by one. I don't do consultations anymore at all. I don't have the capacity. But one of the things I can do is to create content and provide that to you. So definitely take advantage of the opportunity to get that bundle, because it's a steal. It is an absolute steal. Can I share my screen, Abril?
You should be able to. If you're not, if you can't, you're a host, so you should be able to share your screen.
Okay. So let's try to do that. All right, y'all. See if we can get this.
And for those of you who are asking, the resource bundle will be released when the conference is over, 1 week after the conference is over.
Did I spill the beans?
No, you're right. You're right on it.
Oh, okay. All right. So let's go ahead and have a conversation. And I'm supposed to be keynoting, y'all. So it's going to be more of a discussion. I'm not the type to be teaching at you. Abril would tell you when someone calls me a mentor, I would tell you, first of all, I am woman. Number one. And two, I don't really do that power dynamics thing. I think we all come to the table with something. Some of us have knowledge that others need, but you bring something to the table as well. So I see myself as a supporter, more so than anything. Can y'all see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, awesome. So real quick, then I'm gonna be done with the bundle. I will be providing a course that is part of a 5-course series program, the 5V framework. And so it will be focusing all on vision and how to build a brand vision for your herbal farming enterprise. So connect with me. I know the links will be getting dropped. You can find me at Farmer C on most things. Green Heifer Farms, of course. Y'all go out there and follow my farms page too, because y'all be following all of my Farmer C stuff. Y'all better get over there to that business. All right, a little bit about me. Hi, that's me when I'm, really dolled up a little bit. That's my crew. I have 3 adult children. I started farming in my early 40s. I just celebrated my 48th birthday. I have 3 adult children. I have 5 grandchildren. There were 2 that had not yet been seen in this photo that have now made their grand entrance earthside. And I don't have time to be playing. I don't have time to be playing. I got a whole 2 generations after me, and I want them to flourish and do well. So I wear a lot of hats. First and foremost, I'm a farmer of herbs, and I did not identify as a herbalist until quite recently for several reasons, and I won't go into all of them, but I will say that nobody knows a plant like a farmer does, period. And I personally felt that herbalism is very holistic. And for me to be able to authentically and without reservation put something out there, I got to know where it originated from. I got to know what kind of energy was in it from beginning. I tell my customers, I take care of you seed to sip. And really, it could be soil to sip, because we're a vertically scaled business. We'll talk about that in a little bit. But I do consider myself now to be an herbalist. I am not one of those herbalists. I'm not going to prescribe you anything. I am not a medical professional. I'm not going to lie to you. Okay. Herbs cannot erase bad behavior. They can't. Herbs cannot rewrite your genetics. They can't. I'm not going to sell you something and tell you you're going to have hair down to your butt when being bald-headed is in your DNA. Your mama was bald-headed. Your grandmama was bald-headed. I'm not going to sit up there and try to tell you that I can grow a plant. Somebody else may do it, but I doubt it, because a lot of folks don't even know where the plants are grown. So anywho, I am very much about how can you use herbs to enhance and expand your well-being. So I do now consider myself an herbalist. I formulate all of our tea recipes here at Green Heifer Farms and our products. And I speak on what I know, and I know what I grow. I'm a CEO. That part gets lost on some, especially when you identify as a farmer or herbalist. But Green Heifer Farms is a corporation. It is its own separate business entity. I am a chief executive officer, in addition to being chief farming officer and chief whatever officer I need to be. but I am a CEO. And when I walk into rooms, I walk into rooms with that title. I'm an employer. I have team members. I have people who rely on this business for their livelihood and sustainability. And I pay my employees well. I treat them well. I'm a landowner, just paid the mortgage off on this joint. So, and in addition to this, I also own a tree farm in Alabama that's 20 acres. So with that comes the responsibility of being a land steward. I have to take care of the land that has been entrusted to me. So let me tell you real quick how I built an economically, environmentally sustainable herbal farming business in scratch in 5 years on 15 acres. Yes, she did. Number one, if you follow me, you know I grow slow so I don't owe, okay? That means a lot of things. I don't like owing people financially. I don't. I don't. I've been poor before. I've had people calling me about bills before. It's a little problematic for me. I don't like how it feels. Environmentally, I grow slow so I don't owe. Because when you rush, you're going to cut corners. And one thing about growing small scale is you have the responsibility really to take the utmost care. You should have exquisite growing practices, especially because you're smaller. So you should be looking at growing boutique. And lastly, I grow slow so I don't owe. I take my time and I learn. So I make less mistakes. So I don't owe apologies. I have no problem apologizing. Our farm recently had a fire. We've had issues with getting orders out in a timely manner. Sometimes orders have been getting messed up because we're switching over to a new inventory system, and customers hit me up. But you don't see them, dragging me on social media because I have a genuine relationship with my customers. And I always thank them for the opportunity to make it right. And they know when they get that package, it's going to be good. So in order to do that, I had to create a framework for sustainability. I got a thing for frameworks, numbers I need stuff to remember. Okay. So this is the 4 E's framework. Sorry if I'm going so fast, y'all. I'm looking at the time and I really want to get through all the slides and leave some time for questions. So my 4 E's framework for sustainability. When you're thinking of sustainability, you have to be thinking of environmentally and you have to be thinking of economically. If your business cannot support itself, then that defeats the purpose, right? So first and foremost, economic prosperity. I don't do struggle farming. I don't do struggle herbalism. I don't do struggle business. I came into this in my 40s. I was accustomed to a certain quality of life. I'm not necessarily out here trying to enrich in other brands as opposed to acquire lands. I'm focused on my brand in that aspect, but I like a thread count on my sheet. I like it to be high. I like a massage. I like a vacation. I like to take my family on vacation. So economic prosperity is a must. My dogs are expensive, Clifford is expensive. Equity. I'm not coming into this space unaware of my identity as a Black woman in the South. And I'm growing medicinal plants. And one of those medicinal plants happens to be, cannabis. So I am very much about equity. I'm about leveling the planting field for others. I'm about supporting other farmers, other entrepreneurs, other herbalists as well. So social justice is very much a part of our framework. Education, we educate our customers. We educate through workshops on our farm. We don't have a lot of them because I curate the energy. That could be the 5th E, energy curation. But we do offer workshops. I teach across the country at various conferences and am asked to speak at various institutions of higher education. And I also have a YouTube channel, free information, free game, and the environment. I've always been an environmentalist. I was raised to love the land, to be connected to nature. So it's ingrained in everything we do. We are the first Black farm, period, in this country to attain certified B Corp status. But we won't be the last, because I was fortunate to work with B Labs to create a program to make sure that there are others that are able to get that certification as well, which is part of growing your brand. All right. I'm selective about certifications. There are some key certifications that could potentially benefit your brand. You need to research them. Some of them are very labor intensive, like B Corp. Some of them not so much. But just make sure you're telling the truth. Like, don't say there's naturally grown when you know you out there putting Miracle-Gro on it. Like, be real about it. Or you buying from somebody who puts Miracle-Gro on there. But if you grow your brand, you're going to build the land. So many people come to me and they're like, I need money to buy land. For what? What are you going to grow? They haven't done market research. They haven't done, the background work that you often don't see, because we want to think that a farm is land. A farm is not land. A farm is business. It is a business. The land is a tool, critical tool in that business. It is an asset, but you have to understand that you can conduct a farming business and not necessarily immediately be able to acquire land. So grow the brand, build the land. These are some of the herbs that we grow. We grow high quality, low quantity, boutique herbs. My herbs sell more typically than what you're going to find at a lot of these herbal clearing warehouses. But look at the quality of my herbs. My stuff is fresher, okay? Everything we do around here is fresh. It's organically grown. It's regeneratively grown. It's herbally significant. And we take care every step of the way. That allows me to go to my consumer and to ask for a price that, you're not going to get the same price that you get on the grocery store. You can't buy 20, bags or an ounce of my tea for $5. How am I going to pay my team? How am I going to ensure that I'm able to grow organically and take care of this land at the level it needs to be taken care of? And the last place you really want to be cheap is with your herbs. Okay. Don't be cheap with your herbs. That's not luxury. That's one place that you really want to invest in. And when you're growing or you're a herbalist, you want to be able to provide that quality as well. The next thing, when you're growing small and you want to have high, significant impact, you got to know your lane. You got to know your niche. Don't do what so-and-so is doing because it looks like they're doing well at it. I can't tell you how many times I've seen people, like, literally even words that have been used by somebody else, by me. Now, don't get me wrong. Creative inspiration, we should be looking for that. It's a beautiful thing when we find people who creatively inspire us. But you don't want to just try to copy what someone else is doing. So really think about, who are you growing for? What are you growing? And is there a space that you can fill that no one else may be quite filling? So for us, my specialization is I grow herbs for grown people, for adulting, okay? For people who are out here living life to enhance their well-being. I'm not trying to grow herbs for the general population, because not everybody is going to be feeling that. I'm not trying to grow herbs for Mr. Dusty Throat over here or Mrs. Dusty Throat, because Dusty Throat knows no gender, okay? I'm not trying to grow for them necessarily. I have a specific niche, and the number one customer base for my products, not surprisingly, are women. Women are the number one, and within that, not surprisingly, Black women. Black women like me, they got some discretionary income. They're not going to skimp on their herbs. They want things that's going to enhance their well-being and their quality of life. So here are some of our products. As you can see, a lot of time and attention has been taken with the branding, our names, Blackity, because I'm Blackity Black. No. That too, but it's got black tea in it. It's our only caffeinated blend right now. We'll be adding some more lightly caffeinated, but we've got Fixity with the balancing. We've got that Rich Auntie. If you haven't had Rich Auntie in your life and thrown a pinky up, what you doing? Beautifying, and then we have that stress reducing Sanity. So what I realized very early on, and this comes from my background as a marketing and fundraising expert, is that the closer you are to the consumer, the more you have in the share of the profit. The further back you are, you're going to get cut out. So a lot of times what happens, people grow bulk, right? They grow bulk, they sell it to a distributor. The distributor may sell it to another distributor, and then that person may sell it to the retail outlet that's going to then sell it to the consumer. Guess what that producer is, that farmer? They're down there at the bottom. But if you can cut out the middle people, and the closer you can get, especially the smaller you're producing, you're going boutique, because you're not going to make money growing corn. Okay, you're not going to make money growing things that are just general, and you're trying to sell them in 10-pound increments. It's going to be impossible for you to be able to. Well, I won't say it's impossible. It's implausible, and that's working very hard. That's working very hard. But the closer you are to the consumer, the more your share of the profit. Here, we're vertically scaled. I take care of it from seed to sip. I don't grow enough to meet the demand for our products. So that provides me an opportunity to put money in other farmers' pockets. So that's another way that herbal businesses, small businesses, any size, can help engage in economic activity, right? Because you're a catalyst by helping to put money in other farmers' pockets. And I love doing that. I research market data. I am a classically trained marketing professional, got the degree and everything. Now you hear terms thrown around interchangeably, marketing, branding, everything. You got people who are phenomenal sellers. And some of y'all will buy anything. So it ain't hard to sell you on something. Just telling the truth, just telling the truth. You real quick, you're impulsive with your coins. If somebody is telling you something that you want to hear. But what you have to do if you're going to have if you're going to produce small quantity, high quality, big impact, you've got to research market data. A lot of people don't even look at the global market data for what they're growing. I know people who grow peppermint who don't know what the global expenditures on peppermint oil was last year. I think it was like 120, 150 million that's just from the oil or extract maybe. But you should be looking at the global market data, the industry data, and consumer buying habits. And there's information out there. It's not too hard to find that information. Invest in a report or two. Join important or helpful professional associations that give you access to these types of data points. And then you want to make sure that you are growing to be in alignment with what people are actually buying out there. Vertically scale as much as possible. As much as you can keep other folks out of your supply chain, that is going to, again, allow you to be closer to the consumer. Now, how do we bring money in? I bring money in several different ways. Number one, sales revenues. Contrary to popular belief, a farming business is not going to work if you're not supporting that farming business. So yes, it's great to follow them. It's great to heart. It's great to like, etc. But there are farming businesses out here that have products on shelves, that are engaged in e-commerce, that are growing things other than produce, for example. So sales revenues, by far and large, that's our top revenue generator. Grants. I'm a fundraiser by training, so we get federal grants, we get private grants. We do cost share with the government. Corporate partnerships, companies pay me to do something or to engage in a partnership with them. Brand deals, I'm starting to do a bit more of those, but not too much because I'm a farmer who does the internet. I'm not an internet farmer. I got to be out here getting my hands dirty, and a little bit from social media. All right, think outside the box with funding. This is an example of something I'm getting paid for. It's creating YouTube videos for the NRCS, USDA, in partnership with a nonprofit. I was doing that anyway, but I was able to be written into a grant. Now I'm getting paid for it. Have a few select workshops if I've shared. This is an opportunity I was able to bring in corporate support and make sure that every farmer of color, they're left with a check. I love doing that. And that's one of the ways that when you're focusing on impact, you want to know, how can I give back? Grow something different. I'm growing a lot of things that people aren't necessarily growing out here. I'm growing some herbs that you don't necessarily hear as commonplace in the market, in these internet streets. Is there something different you can grow? Yeah, that's me chilling right there, just to remind you that you got to take a break, okay? Rest is a human right. Diversify your growing spaces. So this is an older picture. It's definitely changed. We've got a couple of these now. We've got some greenery, but I wanted to show you this because it shows the raised bed, which is one growing environment. You can start in raised beds. Within that greenhouse, we now have containers, okay? We grow in containers in there. This is actually another structure that we now have, our high tunnel. Just had to have an event in there because it was raining and we were supposed to be outside, but we grow as well in the high tunnel. And there's government assistance for programs like this if you are a bona fide farmer. And I grow outside. Now, I just got the melons there because I hear y'all like melons. Melons get you a little attention on these internet streets, and you know, I'm not above it. So this right here, you see my passion flower. What is that passion flower? That might be morning glory. I'm going up the vine, but we also grow outside. So there's tons of different environments in which you can grow. And it's 9:42. Y'all got 3 minutes for questions. And I am within guidelines. I hope I didn't go too fast. Do we have questions? Was that good for y'all? Did you get something?
That was great. Can you all drop your questions in the Q&A box? For some reason, it doesn't. I think it's because I let you. Made
okay. Post. I see it.
But drop your questions in the Q&A box. For some reason, because I made you a host, I can't use the chat for some reason. But we're gonna pull up the Q&A box. Thank you. Can you see me or hear me, Farmer C?
I don't see you. It's just your name.
Okay. Let me unmake you a host.
Yeah.
All my functions are disabled. I hope y'all take you off.
I see some people. Okay, y'all, let me know if this was good. Q&A is disabled. Oh, it's a lot.
No, Q&A is up.
Oh, I'm just catching up on all these messages. Well, I'll go ahead and grab a question because I know time is limited.
Pharmacy, you have until the next person comes on at 10 a.m. So
it's 9:45. Okay.
Yeah, you're through 10 o'clock. So have fun. You got about 15 minutes.
Okay. Oh, this is okay. In Alabama, somebody asked me, where in Alabama? Oh, it went by so fast. Oh, I live in Alabama, Wilcox County. My tree farm is in Wilcox County. But I'm not going to cut the trees. They were planted before my mother passed away. So when I inherited it, the initial plan was, we cut the trees, but now I'm not going to cut the trees. We're going to keep that carbon in the ground. So I will be looking at, there is some cleared acreage. So we will be expanding. That's the S on Green Heifer Farms. But I'm also looking into some agroforestry and mushrooms. Maybe. But I don't want to do like the edible mushrooms. I want to do the fun mushrooms. Well, I guess the edible are fun, but yeah, let me stop there. When you say regeneratively, I would love to hear what that actually entails. So regenerative agriculture is essentially, it's a co-opted term, okay? It's stuff that's already been done. It has been being done by various cultures, indigenous communities. And it typically includes things such as cover cropping. You never want to leave your soil bare. You want to cover it with different types of crops like legumes or nitrogen fixing crops that are going to support soil health. And regenerative is all about soil health and increasing biodiversity because, number one, every time somebody cuts into the land, they till, et cetera, they're releasing tons of carbon. Of course, we know that the biggest sources of carbon come from other places, but agriculture does contribute to that carbon being released. So that's one. Two, when we're doing conventional farming, we're applying chemicals, heavy machinery, like the soil becomes depleted and we have a serious issue with erosion and quality of soil. So you want to do things like cover cropping. You want to crop rotate. You don't want to keep growing the same thing in the same place season after season. You want to make sure you're bringing in different plants so that they can bring in different microbes and even different pests so that you can keep the biodiversity of the area together or optimal. And then there's those, I do what I call vegan regenerative agriculture because I don't have animals, but then there's also some practices with how do you incorporate animals with that agricultural growing space. So again, that you can contribute to healthy soil. I hope that was a good high level overview. How can one begin research at learning the market data? Honestly, Sharon, first and foremost, just go ahead and Google market data for whatever it is that you're interested in. There are also some associations. Organic Trade Association is a good one if you plan to grow organic. And they actually have a program for diverse producers, BIPOC producers. And they'll like give, as long as resources are available, but check with them. They will provide a 2-year membership, a voting membership, not just like a little, cursory kind of thing, but voting membership and access to all of their educational materials. And they have tons, they get tons of data. There's a couple of herbal associations that have some market data. You can actually purchase it from companies that's what they do. They literally create data. There's like the Chicago Commodities Exchange. That's more, I haven't seen that really honing in a lot on natural wellness and herbal products, but that's also a possible resource. Do you sell direct to consumer only? I sell direct to consumer and to select independent grocery stores. So our target is not to be in Target necessarily. I like co-ops. I like those outlets that have a consumer that has high brand loyalty. So those are our two primary outlets. What was the initial? A lot, Cynthia. It was a lot. All right. And it wasn't just an initial, it's a continuous. I'm still investing in land, seeds, and machinery. But for me to give you a cost for my model is not serving you, because what are you trying to do? How many acres do you need? Where are you buying your acres? What are you trying to grow? What environment? You growing outside? You want to grow in a greenhouse? You're going to grow in a high tunnel? You want to do raised beds, containers, grow tent? What's your model? So you have to come up with your model, and then you will find the costs that go with that. How much I paid for land in 2018 is very different. Land price out here has is 5 times more than what I paid for it, which is good for my bottom line. But yeah, what machinery? The machinery and equipment is going to be based on what you're trying to do. The type of seeds is going to be based on what you're trying to do. So I don't really like to give initial investment for what I did, because that may not be in alignment with what you need. You got to do your research as to what you're trying to do, and then a fixed cost to that. Where do I get my seeds? A lot of places. I have a few resources that I get seeds, and I get different kinds of seeds. So the place that I go to get seeds to grow is very different than where I go to get seeds for cover cropping, large acreage, right? So a couple of places. And now at this point, we pretty much are able to harvest our own seeds. So each year my seed purchasing has decreased as far as what we have established. And then of course I will purchase seeds for new things that we're adding. How much space do you use to grow? So cherry, I have 14.84 acres according to one county report, 15.84 according to the other. So I don't know how much. I just say 15. In active production, actually all of our land is in active production, because what I don't have producing for our products, I have cover cropped. So I don't have anything that's just laying there, right? And I do get paid by the government to cover crop. I do receive funding for that. So it is a line, it is a revenue generator for us to be able to do the right thing anyway. So all of it is used to grow, but in active production, including all of my buildings and everything, about 5.5, 6 acres. How do you manage your time, Pharmacy? I curate the hell out of my energy. I sure do. I don't be fooling with everybody. I don't try to answer everybody's email. I don't be entertaining a lot of things. I focus on the highest and best use of my time, including taking a nap if that's what's needed. I am not I know y'all see me online and it's easy for me to, like, you know, turn on the camera while I'm walking across the field or something like that. But you don't see anything fancy. You don't see me. I'm not learning any dance routines. Y'all get me grimy and sweaty and doing my thing. And that's because I have built a model where respectfully, I'm good if I'm not popular. I'm not even trying to be popular. I'm trying to be prosperous. I wish I had more customers than I do followers. Like, I got all these followers. I'm like, where are we going? Where y'all following me to? Because I'm headed to the field. So yeah, I definitely curate my energy. I don't try to accommodate every request for a free tour. I wouldn't be able to do it. I can't answer every personal inquiry, every DM or anything like that. So yeah, energy curation. Top 3 unique herbs to grow. Shanice, that's relative. There's a lot of herbs. There's tens of thousands of herbs out there. I don't even know all the herbs that are out there. And it depends on what's your hardiness zone, right? So I could say top 3 unique herbs to grow here in North Carolina, but you might be in Minnesota, so it has no relevancy to you. Instead of it being top 3 unique herbs to grow, I would say broaden your knowledge, your herbal knowledge, and you're gonna come across some unique stuff. Like, that's gonna happen. A lot of the herbs that I grow are from my studies as I'm studying. I'm studying what likes to grow here. I'm studying what there's a market for here, but I'm also studying herbs to know more about the herbs that are out there that could address the issues that I want to address in my formulations, because each of my formulations have a purpose. So I've got to study herbs to help support that purpose. How about selling to restaurants? Yeah, absolutely. I grow one herb, Spilanthes, that I discovered in Vegas. It is also known as the electric button, electric daisy, toothache plant. And so we were told, go to this bar. It's not on the menu, just ask for it by name. So we go to this bar, we ask for it by name. Our server brings us our drinks. It was me and my best friend. And it's like, chew the flower, then take a sip. So we're like, what? Okay. So we chewed the flower. No insult if anybody has been electrocuted, okay? But it tastes like all of my taste buds, every nerve in my mouth had a jolt of electricity. And then when we took a drink with it, oh my gosh, it took it to the next level. So of course, my best friend's like, I will never do this again. I come back and I start growing the daggone plant. Got a lot of them, but that could be a possibility, you know, selling those to bars. I don't want to do it just because I don't have the capacity right now, and we're good in the lanes that we're in. But for others, that's a possibility. Creating products for restaurants to use, and whether it's in their foods, whether it's in their drinks. Mocktails are real big right now. Like, yeah, definitely there's opportunity to sell to restaurants.
We have about 5 more minutes for questions.
Yeah. What were the first herbs and products you were producing? Cannabis for flower, and Tulsi, Kapoor, my first year. Now we do Kapoor and Krishna. But those were the first products that I produced because they were in my first product. And the terpenes in Tulsi, holy basil, we call it holy basil here in the South, and cannabis are almost identical. So they really play off each other very, very well. Do you know resources for Black women to find organic land? What do you mean by organic land? Land that's owned by a organic farmer? I'm not quite sure, but I don't personally know of a land bank or resource. I use MLS. I use MLS to find this land. Do you grow for wholesale to herbal product makers? No, I don't. Most herbal product makers wouldn't want to pay my price point. Right. I can sell, for me, I sell a pound of butterfly pea. I'm making over $300. You go to a herbalist, they typically want to pay $30 to $40. Maybe 50, 60 for a pound of butterfly pea. So it just doesn't make good business sense for me. Do you have any apprenticeship programs? I don't. That's not my ministry. I do have a So Green Society. It's membership based. The members pay a nominal monthly fee, but they have access to me every Thursday. And they actually just left here. I actually told them, just get here. I'll take care of you, feed you, make sure you're very comfortable, spend a couple of days, and we're going to go learn some things. So that's more my speed. I like to protect peace and curate energy. So I have that, but I don't have an apprenticeship program. But there's some great farms around, if you're here in North Carolina, especially, that have some apprenticeship programs. Check with the universities too that have ag programs. They can tell you about some. All right, one more question. Could you speak more on the funding you received? Actually, you can go to my YouTube channel. I have over 200 videos there, free information. Like it's out there. A lot of the questions that you all are asking may be already answered on my YouTube channel. So definitely check that out. Just real quick, I have received state and federal grants. Our farm just received actually over $500,000 from USDA for a 5-year program that is going to include 2 other fantastic Black women farmers. One you happen to know in Georgia, as well as another fantastic farmer, Farmer John in Pennsylvania. So yeah. So really excited about that. Like I said, I've received state funding, cost share agreements, which is different. That's basically the government saying, we will pay X amount if you do this thing, or if you purchase this thing like a high tunnel. It's not a grant, it's actually a cost share. So I've done several of those. Corporate grants, I've gotten corporate grants, private grants, foundation grants, corporate partnerships. People pay me to come fix a problem, help them with something that they're trying to accomplish, maybe working to create a more inclusive supply chain, include more Black farmers, things like that. And of course, funding products sales. So, all right.
All right, thank you. I was able to figure out how to bring my video back on. So when I made you the host, it
Yeah.
took away all of my my capabilities. But
Oh, okay.
yes, thank you so much. I
Yeah,
couldn't type
thank
in the
you.
I couldn't do anything. I do have somebody in here that was dropping links for you. So
Okay.
hopefully you all got all of that. We'll drop the links one last time for you all, but we dropped the links to Farmer C page, all of Farmer C's things in the chat, her TikTok, her IG, her website. You all make sure you're following this amazing dynamic farmer. Again, she's just amazing. And I will also be a part of that amazing grant opportunity that she spoke
Oh,
about.
have fun.
Yes, we're gonna have an amazing time. And if
I'm
we
gonna
get
get you on TikTok.
that's a whole nother a whole
Well, you
nother
can be on mine. I'm gonna get you. We're gonna do something because you're creative. You do the, you
it's just I don't have the time. If I had the
you gotta
time.
come for the grant. You're gonna be here. So
Okay, so before I don't want to, we can literally me and her, we talk and we will
yes.
talk for hours. But
Okay.
I want to thank you again. If we didn't get to your question, you can come back during the VIP networking hour and I will try to answer the questions personally, that the questions that I do know of. But Pharmacy has to go. She's out here working, she's harvesting, she has a lot of things to do. So you all thank Pharmacy again in the
Thank
chat.
you.
Drop some
Thank
purple
you.
hats for farmers, some purple hats, some purple hearts for Farmer C if you enjoyed her session. And you all go ahead and watch her YouTube videos.
Thank
She's
you. Thank
all
you.
on YouTube.
And
So
I'll try to come back to the VIP. I'll try. I won't promise, but I'll try.
we'll appreciate that. All
All right.
right. So it's
Thank
time.
you, everyone.
Thank you, Pharmacy. Let me go ahead and tell Toke Bay to join.